Ever feel like you're in a movie, one of those lost in translation moments when you're stuck in a train station in another country?
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
We've all been there. It's amazing how just a few phrases in your back pocket can totally change that experience, though.
It's true. And that's exactly why we're doing this deep dive, helping you master train station English.
Yeah, you don't need to be fluent or anything like that.
Not at all.
Just a few key phrases is all it takes.
Right. And we're looking at this guide that's designed for English language learners. And it's really cool because it uses these super practical dialogues
Mhm.
and even cultural tips.
Yeah, it's like having a phrase book come to life, you know?
Totally. It's so true because nothing's worse than feeling like you can't even ask for basic things, when you're traveling.
Yeah.
Like, I remember this one time I was in a train station in Vienna,
Okay.
and I swear I spent an extra hour there just because I was too afraid to ask anyone for directions.
Oh, no.
I know.
You were too afraid. Wow. But can you imagine, like, if you had this guide with you then?
Oh my gosh. Total game changer.
Right. And the cool thing is it breaks it down into these, digestible parts.
Mm-hmm.
And it all starts with, like, the most common scenario, buying tickets.
Okay, so let's dig into this. What makes this guide's approach to the whole ticket buying thing? What makes it so good?
Well, it keeps things really simple.
Okay.
And it focuses on those really important phrases that ticket agents need to hear, like right away.
Like what?
Well, one example.
Yeah.
They really hit hard, making sure you know how to say if you want a one-way or a round-trip ticket.
Which, seems obvious,
Yeah,
but in the moment, it's easy to get flustered.
absolutely. And they even give you example dialogues like how to ask for a ticket at a specific time.
How smart.
So instead of just saying ticket to London, you can say something like, I'd like a ticket to London, please. Is there a train leaving around? And then
Oh.
you give the time.
Oh, that's so helpful.
Oh.
Because then you're not just stuck with whatever they give you.
Exactly. And this might seem like a small thing, but the guide really stresses being polite,
Oh, for sure.
like
Yeah.
using I'd like versus I want. It makes a big difference.
It's so true. It's amazing how those subtle things can totally change how people respond to you, even if they get the basic idea.
Totally.
What else does the guide say about being polite? Like those little things you can do?
Well, they talk about starting with, excuse me, which, when you're approaching staff, and obviously never, ever forget to say please and thank you.
It's amazing how much those two little words get you everywhere.
Right.
Like they really are magic words.
Yeah, they really are. Then they work in every language.
And I think it just shows, even in a place that's as busy and kind of crazy as a train station, being polite just makes everything smoother.
Yeah, it is all about that positive energy. Even if you're stressed, just remember to be courteous and respectful, and honestly, you're going to get way better assistance.
For sure, it makes sense. People are just nicer. When you're nice to them, it's like a universal rule.
It really is. It's like you've got the secret code now,
Yeah.
a little politeness, a little clarity, and boom, you're good to go.
Yeah.
But then comes the fun part, right?
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Navigating the station.
Yeah, because buying the ticket, that's only half the battle.
Tell me about it.
Figuring out those departure boards, finding your platform, it's like a whole other world.
Especially when you don't know the language.
Definitely.
Like deciphering hieroglyphics sometimes.
Totally. And this is where, again, this guide comes in super clutch
Mm-hmm.
because it really encourages you to, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah,
Like those questions that might feel silly,
right.
they could save you so much headache later.
Exactly. Think of the station staff as your friends.
Oh, for sure.
They're there to help you.
Yeah, not your adversaries.
Not at all. They're on your team. And the guide gives you these really clear phrases like, excuse me, could you tell me where to find the platform for the, and then you give them the train number or destination.
Okay, I like that.
Right.
Super to the point, but still polite.
Exactly.
One thing I noticed, they use could you tell me instead of just like, where is?
Oh, good catch. That's super important, because in English, we often use those kind of indirect questions.
Oh, interesting.
It's just considered more polite,
Oh.
especially when you're talking to someone you don't know.
It's almost like you're asking for permission to ask the question, in a way.
Kind of, yeah. It's more about, not sounding demanding.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right. Like you're not barking orders, you're asking for help.
It shows respect, I guess.
Exactly. And it usually gets you a much nicer response, too.
Makes sense.
People more willing to help if you're nice about it.
Oh, absolutely. So besides directions, what else? What other phrases should we keep handy?
Oh, confirming train times is huge.
Oh, yeah, for sure, because delays happen.
Right, always. even in the best train systems.
Seriously.
So something like, how long does the journey take? Or is this train running on schedule?
Oh, those are my go-tos, even when I'm not traveling internationally.
Right.
Essential questions. It's so empowering to be able to ask those confidently in another language.
For sure. And, the guide doesn't just stop at speaking. They actually give you tips for understanding those departure boards.
Oh, nice, because those can be intimidating.
Tell me about it. Like, what do all those numbers even mean?
Right, they're like a code you have to crack.
Exactly. So the guide tells you the important things to look for, like the train number, the destination, and the platform number.
Super helpful. Did they talk about how to make sense of it, even if you don't understand every single word?
Yeah, they actually say pay attention to those visual cues, like abbreviations and patterns.
Okay, like what?
So let's say you don't actually know the word delayed, but you see that a specific train time, it's always highlighted in red, then that's probably a good indicator.
That's so smart.
Right. It's like your brain starts picking up on those patterns.
Just like you said, it's like a code you start to crack.
Exactly. It's all about becoming a more aware traveler,
You know what's funny? You can feel so in control. You've got this.
Yeah.
And then, bam, you see that departure board and your train is nowhere to be found.
The dreaded train delay.
The worst. Talk about a real test of your, newfound language skills.
Totally. But that's where this guide, it really shines.
Okay, go.
Because it tells you exactly what to do and say when that happens.
Because I don't know about you, but I tend to panic a little.
Oh, yeah. It's stressful.
Especially when you're in a foreign country and you're like, wait, what's the plan now?
Exactly. But, instead of just giving in to the chaos, this guide helps you take charge.
Okay, I like that. So, give me the phrases. What do I say when my train is MIA?
Okay, so first, you got to find a staff member.
Right.
And you can say something like, excuse me, I'm supposed to be on the... And then give them the train number or the destination. Do you know if it's running on time?
Perfect. Polite, but to the point.
Exactly. And if the answer is not what you want to hear...
Which is usually the case with train delays.
Right. They're never on time when you need them to be.
Yeah.
So that's when you've got to level up your question.
Like what?
Something like, what should I do if the train is delayed even more? Or, are there any other trains I could take instead?
Oh, I love that. So simple, but it totally changes things.
I know, right? You go from feeling powerless to okay, I've got options.
Exactly. Like you're part of the solution now.
Right. And remember, the staff, they deal with this every day.
Oh, for sure.
They've probably seen it all.
They have all the secrets.
They do. So, a little patience, a little understanding.
Always a good idea.
It goes a long way because, honestly, most of the time, it's not even their fault.
It's true. It's like we're all in this together.
Exactly. And, a little smile, a thank you, it can work wonders.
It's like the universal language of kindness.
Exactly. But honestly, beyond all the practical stuff, I think the best thing this guy does is give you confidence.
Oh, 100%.
It's like it's saying, hey, we know traveling can be scary, but you've got this.
Right. And mastering a few basic phrases, it makes a world of difference.
A world of difference. You go from deer in the headlights to
Yeah.
you're ready to take on the world,
Seriously. And you might even surprise yourself with what you can accomplish.
Totally. It's like you unlock these hidden communication skills you didn't even know you had.
Exactly. And hey, if you're ever unsure, just remember a please and a thank you can go a long way.
The magic words.
They really are. Safe travels, everyone.
Safe travels.